guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. I know I did, with friends and family, and ate way too much food. But today, as you can see, I have a very special watch in front of me. I'm feeling super fortunate because shortly after touching down in LA yesterday, I got a text from my AD, my authorized dealer here in Southern California, that they had a very special watch in stock. This, as you can see, is the Rolex 126-710 BLNR. This is sort of the reissue of the Batman on Oyster. As you guys may be aware, the Batman first came out on Oyster, reference 116-710 BLNR. That came with the older movement. And then Rolex released the Batman on Jubilee, or the Batgirl as it's called, with an updated 3285 caliber. And then at the start of 2021, Rolex re-released the Batman with the new caliber, and then kept the same reference number. As you can see, it looks very stunning on the Oyster bracelet. It's definitely a lot more substantial than the Jubilee, and gives this watch a little bit more of a heft, a little bit more of a masculine vibe, if you will. Everything else about this watch is exactly the same compared to the Batgirl. The only thing that's different is the bracelet. So all the specifications are the same. You can check out some of my other videos to take a look at the specs. I still have my my Batgirl, which for those of you who followed my previous videos know that I acquired this watch in a trade, and it's kind of cool to see these two watches side by side. I think they both sort of wear their bracelets in their own unique ways. The Jubilee definitely looks a lot more dressy, and the links, there's just more links, so it articulates a little bit better. It's a little bit more breathable, a little bit more comfortable on wrist. It all kind of depends on your preference. I was in the camp of, I sort of thought the Batman looked a little bit better on the Oyster when it first came out, and I was a little hesitant about the Batgirl when it first came out. But I've also enjoyed this watch immensely as well, and I'm gonna have to make a very tough decision to move one of these watches away from my collection. I think it's gonna be the Batgirl. Since I did purchase the Batman from an authorized dealer, I think that kind of experience is really second to none. Just had an amazing time talking to my sales representative. We've known each other for a little over a year now. It was great to chat with him about watches and what's going on in the world of Rolex, and just kind of catching up. And I just feel really special that he had me sort of at the top of his list. I know it's kind of crazy these days that you kind of have to get on the nice list with Rolex in order to spend your hard-earned money to purchase these watches at retail price. But that's just kind of the reality of the Rolex world currently. So here's the watch on my wrist, and I have a 6.5-inch wrist in circumference, and you can see that it wears very sporty. It wears a little bit more like my 41mm Submariner, and definitely has just that added presence, a little bit more bulk versus the Batgirl, and I think just wears very beautifully. And just my overall experience yesterday, again, was just amazing. I was also able to try on some of the 2021 models as well, which a lot of Rolex authorized dealers are doing. They're actually offering display models that you can actually try on to kind of see how the watches wear. That's not really an indication of increased availability or supply, but at least, I guess, you can actually see the watches in the metal and try them on. I was able to see the 41mm Oyster Perpetual with a green dial, and also the Rolex Explorer 2. There was like a two-tone Rolex Daytona as well, which looked really classy, really elegant. For those of you who are curious how long I was on the wait list for this watch, surprisingly, I was actually only on the list for a little bit under a year. As I mentioned, I had known the salesperson for over a year, and I've purchased a couple of timepieces from him. But even with that purchase history, I read a lot on forums that wait lists are just super long, and largely these GMT Master 2s are virtually unattainable. So even I was surprised at how quickly that I got the call. So for those of you who are still on the wait list, for those of you who think that this whole wait list thing is really silly and is sort of a made up thing, first of all, I will tell you, don't lose hope. Good things happen. The relationship matters. Knowing your salesperson matters. I always kept in contact with this particular salesperson. I always expressed my interest and reminded him of the timepieces that I was after. It's important to have a good relationship with your authorized dealer. Purchase history definitely matters, but it's not as crazy as as some people will lead you to believe. You don't need to rack up, hundreds of thousands of dollars in purchase history. You can do it with very minimal purchase history, and in some cases, no purchase history at all. So there is an element of luck to it, but if you're a good person and you are very transparent and honest and let the salesperson know how excited you are about watches, how much you love watches, and just maintain a natural, organic relationship with the sales rep, people see that and people recognize that. And just like with anything else in life, it's important to just kind of put your best foot forward and kill them with kindness, I guess. Let me know your thoughts on the new and improved Batman. Let me know how you think it holds up next to the Batgirl. Let me know if I'm crazy to let go of the Batgirl and hold on to the Batman. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will catch you guys in the next video.